super chat from Jake. Can someone please ask Joe Morey about Joel Embiid losing 15 pounds? It's most important thing we need heading into the season, and nobody seems to ask either about it when given the opportunity.
So I will take this as the person who I think is there more often day to day to ask questions. I'd pose, this is not a shot at Jake or anybody else we agree. I have said many times on this show, I think Joe would be better off playing at a lighter weight, less stress on the knees, in theory, better mobility, so on and so forth. I would like for you to brainstorm a few ways to ask someone that you deal with every day, hey, what do you think about losing weight? Because there is not a diplomatic way to do this. And I have asked Nick and Daryl and some of these guys, like, hey, have there been any conversations with Joe and the medical team of like, does he need to, let's say, reimagine his body a little bit? And like, what's the approach you would take there? Or putting him, I bring up swimming a lot. Can you put him in the pool more? But in terms of like, if they list him at 275, it's very difficult for me or anybody else for that matter to go in on media day and be like, hey, so why isn't he at 260? Like, that's just, there's no artful way to do that, really. So it is a
I say Brett Brown was the best because he would just simply say coming into the best fitness
career
base.
Best shape and all that. Like,
the fitness base.
Good conditioning is ultra important for all these guys, but especially so for Joel, given that his body doesn't hold up as well as other guys' base level. And so he has to hold himself to a higher standard. I think discussion about it is fine. I just think where it gets into tougher territory is like, hey, so why are you not skinnier? Like that type of stuff. It's like, to start the year, I could have a conversation about Joe, like, hey, what did you work on physically to try to hold up? Or like, what's the plan for the season to try to, lessen the load on your knees, your feet, your lower extremities? We can have those discussions. I wanted you guys to think about that for a second, because it is a little bit tougher than you would think to when you're dealing with people every day. Like if you had a significant other or a sibling or someone you see all the time, like, hey, what's up with you, you fat POS? It's like, that doesn't really fly.
No, it does not. So two things. One is, this is why we talked about Team USA being one of the more important things for Joel Embiid, because he gets the head start. If he keeps things up during this time off before the start of training camp in October, beginning of October, he got the head start by being in some meaningful games, getting himself in some playing shape early for the start of training camp. And then number two, to the point of the Bahamas in your pool, there are going to be plenty of pools in the Bahamas.
There are pools galore
for
Atlantis,
Joel Embiid to decide to get in and do exactly what you're talking about. So those are two reasons
Real
right there.
Time says, my wife says, you looking juicy.
Who, you?
No, he's saying Real Time's wife says to him that if he's packed on a few tomorrow, he's looking juicy. I don't think I could say you looking juicy to anyone here or with the Sixers without committing some sort of HR violation, but I'll keep that in mind for the future.
We appreciate that. That's
I
funny,
certainly
though.
will never say that to any of my loved ones, but because I enjoy sleeping in my own bed and all that.
And certainly not saying that to Joel Embiid in the locker room. All
You're
right.
looking juicy. That's a no Diddy if I've ever heard one.
We all silly like the mayor.